Right, here we are at Hamburg, at the beginning of the Hamburg Birthday, which is the officially in German Hamburg Geburtstag, which is Hamburg's birthday. And I'm going to try and explain this video to you. I put this up before, but just as a video. I'm now going to try and explain it to you all. It begins on a Friday and ends on a Sunday. And it begins with like the balloons, like you can see now. A lot of balloons. I've never seen so many balloons in my lifetime. The sky is filled with balloons, different kinds. But the birthday is on this in May. It's usually around 7th of May. And I'll explain that to you now, if you bear with me. The Hafen Geburtstag dates back to Emperor Frederick Barbarossa, who issued a charter to Hamburg merchants on the 7th of May 1189, granting freedom from customs duties for ships sailing the Elbe from Hamburg to the North Sea. So on the weekend of or around 7th of May, the anniversary is annually celebrated. The modern public festival takes place since 1977. So that's what the birthday is all about. When I was out in Hamburg, nobody explained that to me, so I had to Google it and find out for myself. But that's what it's all about. It's basically that on the 7th of May 1189, Hamburg became a free port. And they celebrate it. That's their birthday. But here we are now at Hamburg Harbour on their birthday celebration, their Geburtstag. And as you can see, there are many people around. It's a very popular time of the year in Hamburg. In fact, I've just Googled it not long ago, and the numbers of people that visit there are increasing annually. Probably many people from abroad, not just from Hamburg. It's a big time for them, and they really let their hair down. And it's a big day in May. As you can see, there are lots of things going on and things being sold. The harbour is very full, lots of ships, tall ships, coming in from all over. To mark a special occasion. I mean, Hamburg's had some pretty hard times over their history, even though the city's quite wonderful now. But I've been Googling a lot, did a bit of research, and they were invaded by, I think, the Swedes way back, and then in the Napoleonic War they got invaded by the French, took over. A lot of the people of Hamburg were kicked out. I think they settled in Altona, a nearby town, which they made their fishing port. And then they had a couple of fires. Go to Google this, you'll find out. Like we had in London, we had fires in London in our history. They've had two fires, and then they had a cholera epidemic, which many died. So, and of course, the Second World War. The town and surrounding areas got literally bombed out. In my recent videos, I said when I visited the main grave that it was recorded as 50,000 dead. Then I went to the cenotaph, not cenotaph, but the monument, and it said 30,000. I've since Googled, and it's now 42,000. So nobody can make up their mind how many died up there, but whether it was 30, 42 or 50, it's still a lot of people. There's Rolf. That's the guy I was with for over 30 years. He's from Hamburg, but he lived in England for over 30 years. But he sadly passed away aged 57 in 2009, and I miss him so. Anyway, we were out there then in Hamburg from 1990 to 2001, just after a millennium. I wanted to, that's St. Nikolai. I've been up there. I think they got 2 of those. There used to be 3, but one got bombed to smithereens in the war. But that's St. Nikolai Tower Church, whatever you call it. But lovely views of Hamburg harbour here. I wanted to make this like a short video, one part, but there's so much going on, and I thought the video that I filmed that, and surprisingly on an old analog camera, I was quite impressed with it all, and it was very hard to cut bits out. I have cut it down because it was a 3-hour video, but I've managed to cut it down to less than 2 hours, but I've had to make it into 2 parts, just under 1 hour each. But I hope I'm doing it justice by giving you a little bit of my background. I mean, I might make some statements that are not quite correct. Anybody can correct me, especially Germans, if I say something. But remember, like I said before, even though I was there for 10 years, I'm just a tourist, just trying to gather as much as I can. Those tall ships are wonderful, aren't they? And you can't beat it. Look at it, beautiful. A lot of them are just visiting for the special day. They're not here normally. That's not English, is it? It looks Russian, isn't it? Siop? Yeah, that looks Russian, I don't know. Those boats you see there, they're not tourist boats, they're passenger boats. See, the good thing about Hamburg, you can get on, you buy a ticket which will allow you to go on the bus, and then you can go on the U-Bahn, the railway, underground, and then you can even get on a boat. As long as your ticket gives you a destination, you can go from point A to point B, no matter which transport you use. And I think that's brilliant. And even so, you can still get off. You can go halfway, get off the bus, do a bit of shopping, and get back on the bus. And you can still use the same ticket, because your ticket says you're going from A to B. So no matter how many times you break it off, no matter how well you travel, you still can get A to B either bus, U-Bahn or boat. It's one thing you say, the Germans are definitely organised in a lot of things, and their roads and their transport. Brilliant. I'm doing it again, and I like in the last video. Brilliant! Brilliant! I think when I played this before on YouTube, I put on a bit of ambient music, which didn't really do it justice. So I thought I'd do it again and give it a bit of background, a bit of talking, narrative. I could have played a bit of Chas and Dave, but no, it wouldn't have done justice. So I'm having a go again, hopefully to show you more. Anyway, here we go. This is a bit like Oxford and Cambridge. They're the red guys going off with their boats, paddling. Like Oxford and Cambridge, I imagine. That's the vicar's boat. So it's a Kirche, church. Kirche is German for church. So the vicar has a boat out there. Alright, there's the yellow team now, setting off. You know, you're a bit late, mate. You should have started off earlier. Where you been? Having a coffee? I think you need to go a bit faster, mate, to catch up with the Reds. Go on, off you go. Boom, boom, boom. Now I think you need to do a bit of Ringo drum in there and paddle a bit faster to catch up. Anyway, I don't know who won, but obviously the yellows didn't. I went out to Hamburg in 1990. That's the Rickmans there. Rickmans. I've mentioned this before. It's permanently there, like a monument. And there's the docks behind. I read something up yesterday about the docks. It used to be a fisherman's village. A lot of fishermen's houses over there. But they moved in and tore all the... They moved the people out and tore the buildings down and built the docks. So they kind of evacuated them. In fact, it's the same along the edge of the Elbe, which you'll see later. There's a place called Blankenese, which used to be fishermen's huts, because they're all by the Elbe. They used to go fishing. There's a Rickman again. Good view of it. Anyway, yeah. Blankenese. The fishermen huts, lovely little places where they could just walk down to the Elbe, do their fishing. And now it's a very wealthy area. All the wealthy people live there. It used to be poor old fishermen. That's the Landensbrücke. It's a landing bridge. And James Bond, Pierce Brosnan, I think, drove a car down there in one of his stunts, or somebody else did it. That's a bar that revolves while you're drinking. So, if you feel a bit whoopsie when you're drinking, you go on there, well, it's normal because the bar was revolving all the time. I sat on there and had a drink. That's a Russian flag, isn't it? It's a Russian flag. I don't think they're invading that. Yeah, I went on Google to read up on Hamburg history, and I found it quite interesting. You should do the same. you'll find out all about the Hamburg harbour, and also about the history of Hamburg and its invasions and fires and cholera. That's the Landesbrücke, and that's where the not the Landesbrücke, I got that wrong. Yeah, but it's put me right, Germans. But somewhere around there, it's the Elbe Tunnel, which goes under this river to the other side. And I was reading on that yesterday, and I was amazed. It was built in 1968. I thought it was built a lot earlier. Now, in one of my other reports, I said I think it's closed, but no, it's not closed. It does open, and it's for pedestrians only. So they can walk from one side to the other, under the water. I read another report that some cars can come through, but if you go to the website and have a look, I don't know how a car can get through. But it's not closed like I mentioned before in another video. It is open and you can walk through. And what's interesting about it is that you've got to get a lift to go down, then you go along the tunnels, and then you've got a lift to go up again on the other side. And it was built in 1968, and apparently quite a few people died building that, but you often find that, don't you, anywhere, even in England, when they build these fantastic things like bridges and a lot of people get killed doing it. It's just a way of life, isn't it? Sadly. I don't know if I'm having a chat with you or whether I want to explain Hamburg to you. I'm not sure I'm going with this. Although I mentioned the Elbe Tunnel, which goes under the river from the harbour to the docks itself, that's a Russian flag, definitely a Russian flag. There is a bridge which I haven't filmed, but I have been over. There's a magnificent bridge that goes across from Hamburg itself to the docks. So that's probably why the Elbe Tunnel is not needed now, because it's like a motorway bridge. It's fast traffic, goes right across. That's Rolf again. My lovely Rolf. Bless his soul. As you can see, there's a German flag fluttering proudly in the wind, and that's a German naval ship. I was looking on Google and people were asking, do the Germans have a navy? Well, yes, they do. They do have a navy. In fact, they've got quite a few frigates and that, and here's one of them. I mean, after the First World War they were told they can't have a navy. After the Second World War, well, they sunk most of their big naval ships, the Bismarck and that, and when they were limited. But they've now slowly built up, and they do have a navy, so you can guarantee that. Don't have to ask that question. Germany does have a navy, and here they are. And they're fine ships. And there's more than one, you'll see them later. I mean, when it comes to war history, I do respect the Navy. Kriegsmarine, wasn't it? The submarines. Poor souls, a lot of them died. Because they were sending people who weren't trained to war. I keep going on about the bleeding war, didn't I? Don't talk about the war! Don't talk about the war! Alright. Anyway, here's one of their ships. As you can see, it's just as good as anybody else's navy. So Germany does have a navy. Put that straight. Anybody watching this movie might think I'm a spy, filming all these beautiful warships and their guns, but I'm not. I'm just a tourist. That's the Blitz eye. Oh, back to the ship again. Yeah, I'm a spy. There, look at them. There's the German Navy, all busy, working hard. Lots to do, plenty to see, and they're all parked up next to each other. Flying the flag. I mean, don't they have to swap the decks anymore? Come back, Captain Blind. We miss you. Yeah, these are quite decent shots of Hamburg in the harbour. Quite impressive. Considering it's an analog camera, it's actually in 4.3, but it's decided to risk it and put it in 16.9. They say it stretches the film, but I think it's a lot better. There's another scene of the dockland area where the containers are. Oh, I'm a spy. Back to the ships. Yeah, got to get that. This is rude to Russia. China's waiting too. Yeah, that's like our in London, our dome. That's like a tented area where they put on shows like rock bands and things like that. And there was a rock band going on at the time. So that's a bit like England's dome in London. Yeah, the helicopters were quite busy, the police. But then they always are in Hamburg, I noticed, many times. That's the Landsberger. And with the green towers, oh, there's the ducks, Entner, they call them. They're saying, bloody busy round here and a bit noisy. Yeah, it's the same every year. You know, I jumped a bit there, had a few things to say, but yeah, where the green dome is on the Landsberger, that's where the Elbe Tunnel is. I never went through them myself. I wish I had, because I'd like to, but I didn't think it was ever open, but apparently it is. You can walk through, and if you go on YouTube, you'll see film and photos of the Elbe Tunnel. There's that famous mural in the foreground, the one I mentioned in my other videos. It was up there for ages, and it was good looking at. And it was the main tourist site, that old area with that mural up there on that. It's like a dock where the ships go in to repair and fix. and everybody loved it. The paintings, because they weren't graffiti, they were decent paintings. There you go again, you can see them. Beautiful paintings, I don't know who did that. Lovely paintings, it's work of art. But like I said in another video, some Jobsworth was told to paint the docks and he covered it all with green paint. Can you believe that? He painted all over it. So it's no longer there. It'd be nice to think that maybe somebody's gone back and put something else that's just as good instead, but I don't know if that's true, because that was in 1998 and it's now 2023, so whether they've done that or not, somebody let me know, but I hope they have. It's a shame. Look, beautiful work, and they just destroyed it, painted it over green. How could he have done? He must have been a right moron to have done that. It's a Hamburg flag, the German flag again. I'm filming more ships, yeah, I know. Blitz eye onto me, I can see them there watching me. Yeah, we got you numbered. We got your number, mate. And that's the fire boat. The ships catch fire. That's what they are. They're like the fire service on the sea. And the police are around again. Look at them all out in a jolly. They should be patrolling the streets, looking out for burglars. The German police, they all carry guns, but I've only experienced once I was out there. I didn't see them shooting, but they were chasing somebody and I heard shots. But otherwise, they're not gun happy like they are in America. I had no experience of that sort of incident happening in Germany while I was out in Hamburg. So they're not rootin' tootin' shooting like the Yanks are. I mean, we have armed police in the UK, in Britain, but they don't carry sidearms like they do in Germany, America, France, most countries. But there is an armed police unit, but they're called that for special reasons. So they kind of don't carry arms, but they can carry arms. So they're a bit like the SAS or the police, I suppose. Hey, there's Rolf again with his bowl patch. Kept telling me that you should wear one of those Jewish kafta things. Keep the sun off your hair, over his head. Yeah, this is a police boat. It's actually on a police boat. If you're invited, you could go on all these boats. I was on a police boat there, filming that. There's a big wheel going around. Lovely shots of Hamburg. Like I said, it's hard to cut. Oh, I've got to shut up now, because play this. I have filmed this on other videos. that I included on my YouTube video of street entertainers. So the thing is, I want to be able to raise it and lower it on my mixer. I've got to work that out. How can I get sound from my videos through my mixer and then onto recording, so I can get, when I did it in the old days with the video, I had 2 videos, but I could do that. Maybe I can do it with 2 laptops. I've got a laptop and I've got a PC. Maybe I could do it with that. In the meantime, I can't turn it up because otherwise you won't hear me. So I've got to keep the sound low so you can hear my recording. Anyway, I'll shut up again. You just have to turn your sound up to hear it. There was a lot of good rock bands in Hamburg. You could hear good rock music everywhere you went. And one of my favourite top rock singers in Germany at that time is a guy called Morris Müller-Westernhagen. Google him. Go on YouTube, Morris Müller-Westernhagen, or Westernhagen in English. I loved his music. He was a bit like Rod Stewart with his voice. But there's good music. There's lots of good music in Hamburg. So there you go with the markets, food stores. There's Guinness. They were very prominent out there. That's the only thing from England, I think. Not it's Ireland, isn't it? Not England. So you had all these stalls. You not just had the shipping lanes with all the tall ships and that. You had markets going on, you had the big wheel there, you had all going on in the sky, and everything for kids. Look, one guy with all the balloons. And there was everything going on. It's a big day in Hamburg. And like I said earlier on, apparently it's getting even more popular today, so why not book yourself a trip next year? Go to Hamburg in May. This is the fish market area. This is where the fish market usually is. Oh, here we go. This is a quiet, lonely area. Oh, it's so sad. England. This is English country west. And there's nothing going on there. Notice there's no sound. This is the port where the Scandinavian seaways used to pull in to bring people from Harwich or Newcastle up the Elbe to this port. And of course, that's where I arrived when I first came to Hamburg. But as I said in another YouTube video, they don't sail up there anymore. They stopped now. They don't go up the Elbe anymore. They only go as far as Cuxhaven, which is on the edge of the Elbe, Holland. So I don't know what they're doing now, if anybody wants to come to Hamburg. Because if you go to Cuxhaven, you've got to get a bus to Hamburg. It's not the same. Because I used to get the ferry to this port, and then a coach would take them from here to the main city where they do all the Christmas shopping, go around the markets and all that, and then catch the boat home again because it was like a one-day trip. But this is where people used to come and go from Hamburg to England, which is no more. As you can see, during the time of this birthday, there's nobody around there. It's such a desert place. In fact, it's very difficult to get anything English in Germany. You can go all the shops and that, and they sell everything from Italy, from Spain, from anywhere. No, you can't get anything from England. You know, I used to get my mum to send me out food parcels of things I couldn't, like tea bags. Can't get decent tea bags in Germany. Can't get cheddar cheese in Germany. I mean, I went to a big cheese shop and he got a big notice saying, I sell every cheese in the world. And I went up there and I said, have you got any cheddar? He said, what? I said, cheddar. He said, where's that from? I said, England. He said, where's that? Can't get pickled onions out there. Can't even get sour cream. They don't even sell sour cream because they get mayonnaise. And bleach is banned in Germany. They reckon it sinks down and goes into the, what do they call it? The water things under the ground. So bleach is banned. In fact, you can't even wash your car in the street. This is where the fish market is. See, they've got a barrier up there to stop you going to the England side. This is a fish market area, and as you can see, it's been used as a kind of what they call in Germany flow market, which is German for flea market, which in England we call car boot sales. I think the Americans call it garage sales, isn't it? But I don't know if they have open door one. But it's a flow market. So the fish market has been used for that. I'm not sure during this Hamburg birthday, because this is filmed on a Saturday, so normally the fish market opens on a Sunday. I'm not sure if it opens during this Hamburg birthday time. I don't know about that. German can put me right. But as you can see, the Germans love their flow markets. Like we love our car boot sales, and probably the Americans love their garage sales. So you can see there's plenty going on, especially for the kids. It's a day out for everybody. It's very popular and it stretches all the way along. It's a big moment for Hamburg. The Geburtstag, the Hamburg Geburtstag, the Hamburg Harvard birthday. Lovely scenes of the docks again, right across the bay. And the walkway past it. It's not here permanently, all these fixtures. It's only on this special occasion. But even when it's not on, there's still plenty going on. I mean, the Germans love to eat, especially their sausages, their bratwurst. So there's always lots going on. You won't starve if you go to the harbour. That Hamburg emblem I looked up on Google, it goes back a while. It was made into a coin. Anyway, Google it, you find out. But anyway, here we go. This is the pirates here with their cannons setting up. There's Rolf again. All setting up for their whatever they were celebrating. No idea. I think there were pirates in Hamburg. I think they hung a few. Yeah, I didn't see that on Google. Pirates used to invade Hamburg and going back. And they hung quite a few. Or they may have chopped their heads off, but they had pirate films. As I said, it was very hard for me to cut this video down because some fantastic views. Yeah, there they are, the pirates. This is a demonstration of paratroopers, what do you call them, landing on a certain point. See more of that later. That's the Landungsbrücke there. I can see many crowds there. It's so busy. I normally don't like crowds, but I got to high places just filming down on them. I normally don't like to be amongst it all. I find it too hectic. Yeah, that's the old tunnel on the right. It's a Landungsbrücke clock. Trying to give you as much information as I can here. Bear in mind, I'm just a tourist. There's the Elf Tunnel there. That's the entrance. That is the entrance to the Elf Tunnel. There you go, I'm panning in. There, that's the doorway in. But it is open. I thought it was permanently closed, but it's not. It's still open, but mainly for pedestrians. German flag. Oh, here we go. This is a demonstration of all the fire engines through the years. It's all the fire engines through the years. I guess every country's got the same. We can display our fire engines, our fire tenders through the centuries. And then you go back, that awesome cart. I didn't see the awesome cart there. You used to pull a cart round and have pumps on it. And literally you had to pump the water from the awesome cart. And there's the police going off to work. I don't know where, but there's a lot of them, isn't there? Maybe they're going to do aerobatic. What do you call it? Some games. I don't know what I'm talking about here, do I? Excuse me a minute. That's the Landensbrücker. That's where the James Bond guy threw down. And he drove his car, did a stunt. Yeah, here we go. That's their air display. Not like Bournemouth's air display, where we have the red arrows flying down. All the nations there of the Union. At that time we were in the Union. I don't see an English flag there, do you? Well, here they come again. See, we have the red arrows, but and we have Spitfires flying over. But I think the Germans must have run out of Stukas and 109s, so they just got these planes flying over as they fly past. I don't know what happened to the Stukas. Does anybody tell me? Yeah, I'm off on a boat trip now. I'm off on a boat trip going up the Elbe. Going past all the merriment and all the people who are enjoying themselves along the beach, not on the beach, along the, what do we call it? Not prom, is it? Anyway, never mind. So I'm going up the Elbe. Filming more of these warships. Take note of that. Take note of that. There's another one. bear in mind, I'm not on a tour boat here. It's not a tour boat, this is just a normal bus boat, if you like. It's a boat you can catch, like I said before. You buy a ticket. If you want to go somewhere outside, you can get a bus, then get the U-Bahn, and then go to the port and get a boat that takes you to your destination, all on the same ticket. And this is the kind of transport I'm on now. So it's not a tour boat, it's just normally like a bus boat, if you like. And they had the same going up the canals throughout Hamburg, just normal bus boats, which you can get a bus ticket and you can travel on. That's a view of the English port again, the Scandinavian seaport. I don't know what they're doing with it now, because that's now defunct. I don't know who's landing there now. Obviously, must be somebody, but it's not Scandinavian Seaways anymore. It's 5 hours travelling up that Elbe from Hamburg to Cuxhaven in the North Sea. It's quite a long journey, because they have to go slowly, because the water's not that deep. And there it is. I've been on there, Prince of Scandinavia. I've been on there, that ferry. In fact, I've been on there quite a few times. Long journey from England, from Harwich to Hamburg, over 20 hours. Long journey. Yeah, this is just a normal bus ferry, or bus boat that goes past it. That car. I had a feeling maybe he was illegally parked, and that's how they deal with them. I told you before, they don't muck about, these Germans. Probably going to drop it out in an Elbe somewhere. This is further up the Elbe. These are stations where the boat pulls in, picks people up, drops them off. There's a view of the port again. Busy port. Like I said, it once belonged to villages, fishermen, but they got rid of them and built a port instead. This is local fishermen. You can see the hats they wear. Fishermen. It's a typical Hamburg hat, that. And that church in the far foreground, that one there, I'm not sure what they call that church. I need to Google that. But it's actually a bombed out relic. When Hamburg was firebombed in 1943, July, that church was bombed heavily as well. But they've repaired all of Germany, put it all back to the way it was, but they've left that church as a kind of monument or reminder, I suppose, to how bad war is. And it's often used while I was out there, demonstrators to hang, they climb that tower and they hang messages talking about Hiroshima, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So it's kind of anti-war, which I agree with. I'm anti-war myself. But that church still remains in its bad state as it was during the war of 39 to 45. And now, I mean, they was just starting to do it while I was there in the 90s, but now I think it's become a little bit of a museum as well as a church. It's a reminder of how wrong war is. And do we need that? Do we need to remind us of that? We all know that, don't we? Anyway, this is part one of my tour of Hamburg, which is now coming slowly to the end. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I've given you as much video, good video I think, of what's going on. And I hope you watch part two, which I will endeavour to do exactly the same for you. So, thanks for watching, and I'll continue to do the same again in part two. Bye for now.